Hi and welcome to FynOne, the business super app from the house of Fynomics. Today we launched a very interesting module called ISD Invoicing, which is Input Service Distributor Invoicing. You will find that as an option on the left menu under the Pro plan. So simply click on that. You will see four different tabs: ITC redistribution method, upload of purchase register, ITC redistribution model, and the summary. Now, the condition, of course, is that the profile that you're logged in should be a ISD profile, and that the other profiles that we list automatically here are by the same owner. That means if you are an owner of the ISD profile, you should also be the owner of the other profiles. And second is it should be with the same PAN. So same PAN, having I'd say eligible GST registration number and a link to the same owner get automatically displayed here. The first time you will have the option to choose if you want to change base, if you want to give basis turnover or custom percentage. If you give custom percentage, then you can make any changes to those percentages. If you give turnover, you can just enter the turnover and then the percentages is auto computed. Second time onwards, we will automatically take you to the upload purchase register, but you have the option to come back to this and change. So while you have given a default, you can always come back to the redistribution method and change the values and save it so that the new percentages are used for the new purchase the records that get uploaded. In the second tab, you upload the purchase register. So we have given a default template. We can also customize this to a specific template of your choice. I'll just show you quickly what is the default template. These are about 17 columns that are relevant at a invoice level. So you have document number, date, the type as document as being invoice or debit notes. As all of you are aware, credit notes cannot be redistributed, so it will be invoice or debit notes. Seller name, seller GSTIN, buyer name, buyer GSTIN, the total amount, total base value, the GST rate, total IEC, any additional discount, other charges, round off, and supply type. Now, this is typically a invoice level purchase register used by many corporates, and therefore we have used a similar template as the default template. So the second step, you choose that particular file to upload. Okay, so I just choose that, and then I click on upload. Now you'll see this saying a file is uploaded and be processed soon. So you'll have a status option here saying pending. You can keep uploading as many files as you want. There is a backend process that will keep reading this file in a periodic interval and keep updating the details. So right now it reads in a particular in an interval of few seconds. So as and when it is done, the status that you see here as pending will automatically change to completed. So once the file is picked up for reading, the solution just takes a second, few seconds at max to complete it. So if you see it's changed to completed. So if you view here, it will say total records are 4. It hardly took any time, right? So the moment it started reading, it processed it very quickly. So you can process up to 1,000 transactions in a minute to 2 minutes time. And if you have uploaded the wrong purchase register, you can delete it. You can do that activity even after you finalize the redistribution model, etc. Later, let's say at the last and before generating of the ISD invoices, you identify that there are mistakes, you can always come to second step and delete these files. So the associated records also get deleted. On the top, it's linked to a particular return period, so you'll always be able to go back historically to any return period and see the data. The ITC redistribution model is broken into IGST redistribution as well as CGST plus SGST distribution. So in our Excel sheet, if you see, there are two same state GSTs, that is starting with 29, buyer also 29, and two other state GSTs 07, and so this customer 2 and 4. So here for customer 2 and 4, it is IGST. That IGST will get distributed as IGST to both same state and other state, and that's why here if you see that IGST distribution to this particular same state registered GST is distributed as IGST, and also to the other state here we have mentioned as other state. So for this also it's distributed as IGST. Similarly, the other invoice as well. Now, when it comes to CGST and SGST, same state gets distributed as CGST, SGST, the other state gets distributed as IGST. So this is the input credit as per the ISD. The ISD got IGST, how has that got distributed? The ISD got CGST, SGST, how has that got distributed? So here, customer 3 invoice and customer 1 invoice has got distributed as C and S for the same state GST, and it has got distributed as IGST for the other state. For each of these, you can give a description of service again from an audit perspective, for we are capturing it in the future of why, how, or why the distribution happened, etc. You can also do any search by invoice number, etc. as well. In the subsequent phases, we will allow invoice level distribution changes as well. Right now, we allow this to be done only at a profile level, which means in the first step, you give a particular percentage, and basis that distribution happens. In the future releases, along with profile level distribution, we'll also support invoice level distribution to change only for a particular invoice. For example, if this 2425/1 was not consumed by this registration, we will give an option to edit and make the 0 and then consider the relevant ITC distribution to the other profile. You can then go to summary. You will see the total ITC available and distributed, and then unavailed. Unavailed at the moment will be 0 because all the ITC is being considered for redistribution. But as I said, in the subsequent phases, when we give invoice level changes, then there will be certain ITC that will go as unavailed, which you can view as part of this dashboard. There are a few more things that are getting added to the dashboard also to make it more graphical and analytical in nature. Then, of course, you can download the ISD invoices. You will get it as a zip file, profile wise. So for each of the profiles, you will see how the what invoices from which vendor came, and how was the distribution, etc. So let's say we take this particular 29 registration ISD invoice. It will give, as per the prescribed formats, what is the ISD details, what is the recipient details, how the details of the credits are, and how it's got distributed. So what is the taxable value of each of these invoices, and what is the distributed IGST, CGST, and SGST against those invoices, and therefore the total credits distributed, and the option to add authorized signatory, etc. So here in the same state, the IGST got distributed as IGST, while the CGST, SGST got distributed as C and S. In the other state, all the invoices you will see are only IGST distribution, right? So that is how the invoice template looks, and that is the quick capture on how the ISD module on FynOne works. As I said, when you change, you can go back to any prior period and you'll be able to view the data accordingly. Right, so that's it with ISD. Feel free to review this feature and share your valuable comments. Thank you so much for your time. Look forward to the next video.